My name's Steve, and I'm going to talk to you about geospatial visualization on mobile devices using CartoDB. Now, I'm a software engineer, and I develop apps for a living. I work on iOS, Android, and I've been a 2D and 3D developer for quite a few years. I'm also an open source contributor, and I make the WhirlyGlobe-Maply toolkit. WhirlyGlobe-Maply is an open source map and globe toolkit for mobile devices. It's based on Apache 2.0, so it's very friendly for commercial apps. It uses OpenGL for its display, so it's fast and interactive, and it can often achieve 30 or 60 frames a second, depending on what you're doing. It implements a large number of features, including vectors, image-based maps, vector-tiled maps, labels, markers, shapes, and a whole bunch more. And again, it's available for iPad and iPhone and Android devices. Now, this is a typical WhirlyGlobe-Maply app. It's a weather app called Dark Sky, and it's very popular on the App Store. What Dark Sky is known for is telling you what the weather is going to be at your location within the next half hour or hour or so. It'll display weather nearby you, but if you zoom out, it'll also show you weather covering the whole globe, and it'll show you animated as well. Now I'm going to show you 4 really simple apps that all make use of WhirlyGlobe-Maply and CartoDB. Let's start with a really simple one. This is displaying the tax lot data from the city of New York. Each borough is contained in a single table on CartoDB, and we're querying all of them to get information for the particular area we're looking at. When we tap on something, we query CartoDB to see what tax lot we might be tapping. And as we move around, we're just pulling in the information we need for small tiles. In this example, we're looking at live bike share data. We can also dig a little deeper and look at historical data provided by the bike share system in San Francisco. So here we're looking at the most popular trips, where they're going to, where they're coming from, and we can poke around and also figure out, for example, what customers are doing on weekends, where they're going to, where they're coming from, all using CartoDB. Now, this example was implemented by a couple of students at the University of Pennsylvania. It turns out that most commercial ships, and a lot of other ships as well, have a transponder on them that will tell you where they are in the world and where they're going and how fast. And there's a network of amateur antennas out there collecting all that information and sharing it on AISHub. And if you ask really nicely, they'll let you have access to it. So Sally and Gina did just that and scraped AISHub over a small period of time and uploaded the data to CartoDB. And from that, they made an app where they can poke around the data and see what's going on. So the larger icons here are clusters of ships. And then when you zoom in, you can actually see the individual ships themselves. Now, this example is San Francisco transit data from the Muni system. These are bus stops, and the red and blue are passengers getting on and off. So CartoDB is providing the back end here, and we can query a number of different routes and see where people get on and off the system. So you can tap on a bus stop and see, for example, the number of passengers exiting and entering. And you can also get an overall sense of where the hot points are in the system. Now, you might think all this stuff is fairly complex, but it's not too bad. And there's a nice set of tutorials available on the WhirlyGlobe-Maply site. They start from the very basic all the way up to the Pluto dataset tutorial we were looking at earlier. That's one of the more advanced ones. Now, here's all my contact information, and most importantly, there's where you get the WhirlyGlobe-Maply toolkit at the bottom. All the documentation, the reference information, and contact information for WhirlyGlobe-Maply is on that site as well. Thank you for your time.